Hi guys, Coach Ed Haynes here to talk to you about the competitors program. First things first, we're in the second phase of an intensification block. What that generally means in terms of the training that we're doing is we're just going heavier with the loads with regards to our strength training at the moment. What you're going to see at the end of this 4 weeks is we're going to do some absolute strength testing. Remember, still at this point in the season, our priority is getting you guys stronger with regards to our slow strength movements, bench pressing, deadlifting, squat variations, overhead pressing, etc. And basically those technical nuances of the snatch and the clean and jerk and bringing those numbers up. So Mondays, we're going to continue with the snatch complex. I'm going to conclude in our 4th week with a bit of testing there. Great to see in the last block some PRs all around. We're basically going to continue to approach the snatch and the clean and jerk with 4 to 8 weeks of linear progressions with a big testing phase at the end. We're just going to constantly see where you guys are at because we know that we're fine-tuning technique all the time, and that's the biggest limiter for most of you guys. The snatch is not so much strength. Continue on with our back squat absolute strength development, and again with some testing in the 4th week. And you're going to see on Mondays you've got some mixed modal aerobic threshold energy system training. That's a mouthful. Basically what that means is threshold work is this little graph I've drawn here. That dotted line is your aerobic threshold. We cross into that. That's what we typically refer to as our red line. That's when we enter typically an anaerobic state. Everything gets a little bit hazy. Everything gets a little bit nasty. That's when we feel like throwing up. All this work on a Monday, which is typically about a 1-to-1 rest to work ratio. We want to climb up there, stay as close to the threshold as we can for a prolonged period of time. Then we rest. Then we repeat. Then we rest. Then we repeat, then we rest. That's the idea. We're looking for minimal drop off with this kind of work and making sure we're not going over that red line when we push it. Tuesdays, we're going to continue to work with some split jerk consistency. Again, in the 4th week, including with some testing there. You're going to see a lot more touch and go shoulder to overhead barbell cycling and a fair bit of volume going over your head, especially on that Tuesday. You're going to finish those days with a little couplet, sometimes a triplet of a gymnastics movement with a barbell movement. And they're often going to be in a testing format. When I say a testing format, typically we're talking about rounds for time or following a certain ladder to a certain number of reps. What I want you guys to focus on with that is to not get all competitive and forget about all that pacing work that we do. There's still an element of pacing with every mixed modal or conditioning piece that we do, so just remember that. Wednesdays, continue to develop absolute strength for your bench press and deadlift. In general, not just as competitors, but as a gym overall, this is an area we need to really prioritize, so you're going to still see a ton of strength work in there. Your muscle ups, which were done in a very isolated setting in your last block, are now going to be mixed in with some bit of variance. You're going to see an increase in muscle up volume there, and that's all going to be done in an EMOM format. Again, I'm going to give you guys a range of repetitions because I know we have a fairly large range of muscle up ability levels within the competitors. Make sure you're sticking to the appropriate range and building on that each week. You've got a ton of accessory work for the upper body on a Wednesday as well. Again, it's really important that we are doing accessory work and building volume with upper and lower body strength training at the moment. Now's not the time in the season with the Open so far away to be slamming ourselves with all the mixed modal work. Friday, clean and jerk complex, a bit of variance on there. Somewhat sub-maximal loads, but building a fair bit of volume. That's why we're doing it as an every 90 seconds or an every minute on the minute piece. Front squatting, not going so heavy on a Friday, but that's more positional focus. Really making sure we're keeping the elbows up, keeping the torso up. We're getting a ton of strength work done on a Monday as well as a Wednesday with regards to our lower body. And on a Friday, you're going to see some CrossFit variants. When we refer to metabolic conditioning, this is kind of when you see a bit of CrossFit madness. I know last Friday you guys did Cindy. You're going to see those kind of testers sprinkled in with a bunch of different movements in there on a Friday. You're going to also notice that the Friday is going to run very similarly to the performance program, and the idea of that is getting all you guys to push together. There are going to be small little changes just fine-tuned to you guys and your ability levels. Saturday is going to be benchmark Saturday. Getting the whole gym together again, breaking away from partner workouts, which will be good fun. Shingo will be delivering an educational piece on some form of gymnastic movement, so make sure you guys get down there. And then, yeah, just going to have some fun on a Saturday. Last one, general comments. You're going to notice the way the competitors program is going, it's often lasting more than the hour. And that's just given the level of ability that you guys have, as well as the goals that you have it's just really hard for us to fit everything within the hour. Of course, if you need to get off to work or get home, completely understand. It's not an expectation for you to do the whole thing, but if you are serious about the program and wanting to progress within the sport, I highly recommend that you get the work done. I'm always going to say this, please emphasize and do the necessary work on mobility and movement. It is a stressful program. There's a ton of range of motion involved in there throughout the week, and it's really important that you guys are doing the extra stuff outside of the gym. We're going to be sending out some stuff, I know Andy talked about it in his video, on minimum requirements for fitness, performance, and competitors. We basically drawn up these minimum requirements based upon the current group of individuals we have within each group. So it's not like we've set a target to aim for. We've basically gone off what we currently have within our membership base and basically drawn some conclusions to create an avatar for each one. We're going to be updating that consistently. Really, it's for guys and girls who are wanting to move up a level and for them to know and see very clearly what it takes to move into that level. So it shouldn't really affect you guys, but I will be sending it out soon. And of course, you can always come to me for questions. Thank you very much, guys. Great job so far. Keep up the good work.